Hello friend. In one of my Selenium video, a viewer has put forward a question. The question goes like this, that how do we add different profile? Like, he's asking me, he has got 30 Chrome profile and he want to generate one script which will just accept those profiles together. Okay, so what I found out from this question, that is like how to write a script where first of all I need to figure out how many profiles are there in the Chrome, the browser which I'm using, and how do you get to know about these profiles. Okay, the way we can sort out this is that you can come right over here and look over here. There is a tab, and if I click on this tab, it will show me with this option, and over here you have got, suppose, manage Chrome profile, and as I click over here right now, I have got 4 profile that I'm using in this particular Chrome. Okay, so this is something very interesting. Now what I can do is that I must thank this particular viewer friend for putting forward this question. And then I thought that why don't I write a script which would first tell me how many profile do I have got. I didn't do this particular script before, and then I did a bit of Google, and then I found out, in fact, in the Chrome driver also this thing is there, that will tell me how many profiles are there. Now for doing so, you first need to know where is the path that Chrome would store all this information, and for that reason this particular program is going to help you out. So first of all, I need to make use of I have to give the call to the module called OS, because after all this data, the Chrome for the profile context, will be stored inside the OS operating system itself. And since I'm using a Mac, and for that reason I have to give a call to the os.path.expand user. Now why is this expand function coming in picture? The reason is, over here I have to give, I have used the tilde. I'm not writing the complete path where this particular location exists. And how do I get to know about this location specifically also? That can be one question. Well, in Google, in Stack Overflow, I found that we can just go and put forward this in the URL, and it will tell me the path where my profile path is actually present. And I did that, and it revealed that inside the root directory there is a users directory. Inside that there is a directory, specifically the user which I am using, Swarup Shah, and then blah blah blah. So this is the path that will actually store all the detail about the profile which I'm going to create, and for that reason I made use of that in the code. But intentionally what I did is that, since over here, look, it has got users slash Swarup, but I want to make a general program, because if I put over here Swarup Shah, then if somebody is using this particular script, not necessarily this profile will also be Swarup Shah, it can be something else. So to make it a generalized one, I will for the tilde, but even though I'm using the tilde sign over here, when you're executing it, you need to find out what is the actual profile, because in context with that the Chrome data will be saved, the profile data will be saved. And for that reason Python comes up with this wonderful function called expand user, and this expand user will actually make the complete path, and it would be eventually creating this kind of path, detecting the right user who is using this particular script. Okay, and that will be the path where my Chrome profile information are actually stored, and that is the variable which I have created. After that, I created one function called detect profiles, and this function will be called through the help of dunder function underscore underscore main, and here I'm giving a call to this particular function, and this function will be returning me a list. Yeah, it will return me list, and that return value will be stored inside this particular profiles. Let me show you that what this particular file is, function is. The first and the foremost thing is that in this particular path there would be a lot of files and folders are there. So whether actually there would be files and folder, that I don't know, because I've written the path over here. What if I don't have any profile account? That can also be there. In that case, the profiles will not be created. So for that reason, the very first thing what we need to do is that we need to check whether this particular variable does have got any file or folder inside it. So if it is not, means os.path, here I already imported the OS module, os.path.exist. So it is checking that whether this particular path actually exists inside the system or not. If it is not, then it will say that Chrome user data directory is not present actually, and will return an empty list, and that empty list will come right over here. And since it's an empty, so it will say no Chrome profile found actually. okay, that I did, that you can check out, that you do if you don't log in into any Chrome. You just use the browser and just come out without having a user account. In that case, the profile concept won't be there. You can try out that. But what if there is a user who has logged in, like the way I showed you, where I have logged in the system, like I showed you right over here. I have logged it over here, and here I have got these users right over here. That's what I'm showing. So in that case, I need to figure out this one as well, right? And that's where the list comes in picture. Well, this is a very nice smart program where we can make use of list to store the information about the what, about the directories or about the folder that exists inside this particular reference. So that's what I'm checking, that os.list directory. So I'm going to list the resources that is present inside this particular reference, and that's what I'm going to pass inside this variable called folder. And now here the name would come. That means whatever the name that this particular directory contains, that would come over here. But I need to create a complete path. So for that reason, I'm giving a call to os.path.join. What it will do is that it has got the initial directory, that means this particular directory it has got, but it doesn't have the exact resource which is present inside this. So that would get concatenated, and that will create a complete path, and that path I'm going to hold. Yes, because I need to check that whether in this path the relevant data which I need is present or not. Now what do I mean by relevant data? And for that reason I need to run my script to show you something very interesting. Let me run my script first, then you will understand what the next segment of the code actually mean. So my file name is python space profile.py, and I hit enter. Look over here, how many profiles are there? There is one default profile. There is one profile which is default, and apart from that there is one default profile. Apart from that there are a total 3 profiles, including default it would be 4. And here you can see there are exactly 4 profiles are there. Okay, sound very cool, right? Let me do one thing. Let me delete one of the profile from here, and I delete this, and I click the delete button. Now we are left with only 3 profile, and now again let me run the code, and let's see, is there any impact because of this deletion? And it is still showing me what? It's telling me, showing me 4. The reason is I didn't rerun the code. So why it is showing me 4? Okay, let me do one thing. Let me close this tab, and then I will open this. Well, by the way, even if I didn't close, that would have not created much impact. So here it comes. Let's come over here, and it's showing me exactly 3. That's very good. 3 is there. Now let's come over here, and still is showing me 4. But let me run the code again, and now also it's showing me 4. Okay, that's really interesting. It shouldn't be like this. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me delete few more, and let me see what the thing is. So I delete this one also, and I delete this one as well. So I deleted all, and with I left with only 1. So just a second, let me clear the screen, and now let me run the code, and let's see what happens. Yeah, this time it is working perfectly fine. It's showing that there's only 1 profile left. Okay, that's everything weird that happened, but it's showing me 1 profile. Okay, now let me add 1 profile this time, and let's see what happened this time. So sign in. So I'm giving a call to one of the, suppose Swaroop dot tester, and I hit enter, and let me give my password, and let me click on the next button. Oh, I gave a wrong password. Let me retype it again. And let me click this time. Yes, I believe, no, I don't need to shrink anything. It's done. Okay, done. Very good. So how many account now I have got? How many profile do I have got now? Let's click over here. Let's come to manage Chrome profile. It's showing me exactly there are 2 profiles are there. And let's rerun the code once again, this time to see if there is any impact. Yeah, exactly, there are now 2 profiles. See, previously there was 1 profile, now I have added 1. It is showing me the new profile that got added. It has given me a profile number called 8. Why not, let's go and add 1 more profile to see whether this is creating any impact is taking place or not. So let's go for sign in, and this time like tester.swaroop, and let's give the password, and let me click the next button. Oh, again I made a mistake. I'm sorry for that. And I believe it got logged in successfully. Very good. No. Okay, fine, done. So I have got now, let me close this one. So I have got now 3 profile, right? So let's go and check it out now. Manage Chrome profile. So exactly there are 3 profiles, and let's see whether the impact has taken place over here in my script as well or not. Exactly, it has got 3 profile now. Maybe at the initial stage there was some issues, but nonetheless it's working pretty fine. So there are 3 profiles that is connected. So that means what, when I'm adding a new profile, that is also getting impact. When I'm deleting something, that also need to be impact. So depending upon my profile, number of profiles that will exist over here, the thing will get changed. In fact, it is showing me how many profiles are also there. That is also getting clearly visible. So now let me complete the rest of the code. So as I was saying, that from this particular line, it will pick up the respective folder and it will store inside this, but I need the complete path. So for that reason, os.path.join, where I will be having the initial directory where my resources are being kept, and the name of the folder, as you saw, the name of the profile, like this is profile 9, profile 8. So this kind of thing is going to come up. So over here, that need to be joined together, and that's what I'm getting stored over here. Now after storing this complete path, I need to do one small thing. The very first profile which you will be using it, that profile will be considered as default, and other profile will be considered as by the keyword called profile. Okay, I saw initially when the very first profile which I used to log in, that was been considered the default. So over here what I'm doing is that I might pick up the resource can be even a file also. Means when you are joining this, list directory can pick, list dir, not directory, list dir can pick up even a file also, and that can get joined, but I'm looking forward exactly the directory. So for that reason, this function os.path.isDirectory is checking whether the complete path that got generated, is that a directory or not. If it is a folder, if it is a directory, then that will be considered, otherwise the files are ignored over here. So if it is directory, then I'm checking the folder means directory. Is the folder start with the keyword called default? That can be one option. As I said, the very first user that will log in will be considered as a default, and rest of the other will be considered profile, while others can be considered profile folder that start with the keyword called profile. If any of this is true, then that particular profile will be appended inside my list, and eventually you will be creating this kind of list of profiles. So as many profiles you have got, that many lists will get generated over here. Accordingly, these numbers would come over here. In this way, this particular loop will continue until all the resources that is present inside this particular path does not get exhausted. Okay, so when everything has been complete, then only it will terminate from the loop, and eventually it will forward me the list that contains all these details. That what will come, and it will get stored over here. So either this particular variable will have the list, or else it will not have any list. Hope that it will have a list like what you can see right over here. In that case, what I will be showing is I will calculate the length, and it will show me how many profile detail it is holding. So that is coming right from here. And of course, I would love to see all the profile name, and for that reason, again, I'm running a loop. Profiles, that is a list. From there, it will pick up one profile at a time. It will store it over here, and then it will display the name of the profile that is there inside this particular list. Okay, so that's how this particular program would be moving onward. And as I said, that the friend who actually suggested me to come up with this particular program, I'm very grateful that he saw that particular video, and eventually I made this particular script for him. Okay, so in case if you the fellow I'm talking about, in case if that person is really looking forward for a few more suggestions in context to this, you can feel free and put forward your comment, and definitely I will be working more on Selenium in context to Python. So that's all from this video presentation. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye, take care, good night.